Hey guys, so I haven't posted in a while. So I made this YouTube channel to be real, right? So I'm gonna be real with you guys. This job is, despite how some people might make it come off on Facebook, it's not perfect all the time. I've had an extremely rough, we'll call it a rough week. I don't know. I feel like the lighting is weird. It's like lighting my lips weird. And now there's like, this light's creating like a fogginess. I don't know why. Okay, we'll just, there we go. That'll help. Lighting is something I'm still working on learning. So this has been a rough week. It could have been longer than a week, but I'm going to call it a week. Where do I start? I don't even know. I think I was fine. But the first thing that happened, I think that really set my mood kind of in motion is, because I was fine. I was having a great time. I'm just brushing off little issues here and there because issues happen, like whatever, it happens. But I reserved a spot at the, I think it was like a Pilot. Was it a Pilot or a Flying J? I don't know. I think it was a Flying J because there was a Denny's there, and usually that's a Flying J, not a Pilot. There's actually a cool story that I might, where do I start? I don't know. I reserved a spot at this Flying J in Ripon, like R-I-P-O-N, I don't know how to say that, California. And, I don't know. I reserved a spot. Actually, I reserved a spot in Orland at first, and then I switched because I realized I wasn't going to make it that far with the hours I had. So I switched my my reservation to Ripon. I was going north toward Washington. So I switched my reservation to Ripon. I was really tired, but I have this problem where after driving, like, you guys know, I couldn't sleep in the moving truck while it was moving. Not the moving truck, but the truck while it was moving. I couldn't sleep in the moving truck, but it also, I've noticed, even, like, this used to happen to me with road trips as well, but when I'm done moving for the day, I'm just like, my energy is just like, and it takes me a while to, and just be able to fall asleep. And it was a pretty stressful day. There was a lot of traffic. I ran my entire clock out. I was really tired, and it took me a while to fall asleep. So I had my alarm set for about 1 a.m. because it was like a really tight run. Like, I had to go. I had my alarm set for 1 a.m. and I get at 11:30. I think I'd just fallen asleep 2 hours earlier, exactly. At 11:30, I hear on my door, like, it's okay, Lily, like an aggressive, it's okay, baby, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that again, but like an aggressive forced pounding, like it was like a cop knock, right? And me being by myself out here, Lily, it's okay, I did that, baby, look, I did that, see? Dogs. Okay. So it was like this aggressive cop banging, and I was scared because at first, and there are a lot of reviews at this particular truck stop talking about, people, soliciting, begging for money, whatever. And I was told by somebody, there's another story for that. I'll tell you that it was a really crazy, almost awesome story, actually. So maybe I'll follow up with that because it's a little bit more positive. But someone told me, like, watch the guy riding around on his bike, he'll try to get in your truck. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, don't want anybody getting in my truck, because no. So I woke up. I actually jumped up out of bed. I thought I was at a shipper. They do that sometimes at shippers. And if anybody that works for a shipper or a receiver is watching this, don't just bang on our doors aggressively. Like, how would you like it if somebody did that when, like, at your house while you're sleeping? Like, you make us wait 16 hours. We get some sleep because we need it. And then you just wake us up by banging on our door. Like, that's super disrespectful. And this is, like, our home. This is where we live. Like, I know you're at work, but we're, like, we don't get to go home like you do. So, anyway, so the guy, or I'm sorry, I don't know who was banging on my door. It wasn't a guy, but I don't know who was banging on my door. I jumped up. I realized where I was after I jumped up and started, like, getting dressed. And I was like, why do I have to, like, get up and respond to this person who's, like, invading my space when I'm supposed to be sleeping? So I yelled. I said, what do you want? And nobody answered. Then they proceeded to bang on my driver door ahead of me. And then come back here and bang over here. And Lily started barking. So I'm like, well, maybe the dog will scare the person away. But it didn't work. They just continued going back and forth between this door here that I have and the door up front. So finally I hear a woman's voice going, hello? And I'm like, okay, it's a girl. I kind of, like, let my guard down a little bit. I opened up my window here. It screws open. It's just, like, opens up. And I was like, what do you want? And she's like, you have to move. And I was like, I have to move? And she's like, these spots are paid spots. You have to pay to be in these spots. And I was like, I did. And she's like, well, I don't see you here in my system. What's your name? And I gave her my name, and she's like, I don't see you here in my system. And I told her I had reserved a spot, and I called the number. She was, like, so rude. I told her I reserved a spot. I called the number, the 800 number, and I transferred it to here. And she's like, well, what's your name? And I asked her for my name again, or I told her my name again. And she's like, oh, I have your access code or whatever the system that they use. She said, I have it right here. And I was like, you found it? And she's like, yeah, I found it. And I'm like, well, thanks for waking me up. And she's just like, thank you. And then just walked away. She didn't say sorry. She wasn't apologetic. I love Pilot and Flying J. Like, I'm going to say that right now. I know there's all this, like, weird political shit, like, oh, they won't fly the American flag, blah, blah, blah. I could give a shit less about that. They give us a place to safely shut down, go to sleep. There's food, there's showers, we have a reward system. Like, that's all that matters to me in doing my job and doing what I need to do. So I've never had anything bad to say about Pilot and Flying J. Like, nothing that I couldn't say about any other place, right? I called the 800 number, and I told the woman what happened. I explained to her, like, listen, as truck drivers, sleep is very important to us. And for someone whose job revolves around driving a truck to treat me that way and not even be sorry is just, like, I don't understand. And it's like, I need to be able to sleep to keep the roads safe. Like, I'm not going to go out there and drive around on, like, 3 hours of sleep and, like, possibly kill somebody or do something stupid that could hurt me or hurt my license. And she came into my space when I was recharging, doing what I needed to do so that I could do my job, which is very hard. I'm out here all the time. I barely get to go home, and to take any time off hurts me financially. So it's like, I'm trying to sleep. That's what I have to look forward to all day. And she aggressively, like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's dents in the side of my door, the way she was banging on my truck. And then she didn't believe me when I told her that I reserved a spot. Like, I'm some sort of scumbag. Like, I am a second-class citizen because, I don't know. I get that vibe from people all the time. Like, we go to shippers and receivers that don't have trucker bathrooms, or they have designated trucker bathrooms that are just disgusting, or they have an outhouse, or they just don't have anything. And it's just like, I'm sorry that some truckers are gross. Yes, I'll admit that. But, like, treat us with a little bit of respect because we are needed in this society. I don't mean to get on a whole soapbox, but I'm just beyond frustrated. So, I have countless stories like this. Let me just fast forward to today. You guys know I've been completely positive about Prime. 100%, and I don't want to say anything bad about them, but you know what? They might need to hear this. And if I get in trouble for saying this, there's a bigger problem here, because I love Prime. I've always told people, go to Prime. It's an amazing company. whatever. And I'm not just saying that to be a freaking ass kisser or whatever. I'm saying that because I actually love Prime, and I can't see myself working for any other country. I'm losing it. I'm just not having a good time. Any other trucking company. I couldn't see myself working for any other trucking company because Prime has a great support system. They're good, usually. So, I've been getting this like weird attitude from my fleet manager lately, and a lot of people have been. I'm not going to say his name, but his attitude does not make the job any easier. And then on top of it, today, I noticed that my blinker on my trailer isn't working. So I called Road Assist, which is, what we're supposed to do. And Road Assist told me that he said something about like it might be the relay or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But he said, we're going to have to get it to the closest TA or Petro. And I was like, okay. But I don't feel comfortable doing that because I'm not driving around without a blinker. And he said, well, I'm not going to send somebody out on a Friday night to come and fix a turn signal. That was word for word what he said over the phone. So I decided after that I'm doing all my communication with him through the Qualcomm. But again, I said I'm not comfortable doing that. And what I should have said is, so why are you not sending somebody out here on a Friday night when it's his job to come out here and fix a turn signal, but you're expecting me to not do my job and to break the law and do something potentially dangerous to go drive to a TA with no turn signal? Like, coming in here was hard because people kept going by me and I didn't realize why until I got out and realized that I had no turn signal on my trailer. So he had me like playing mechanic, trying to change fuses, checking connections, and I was okay to do all that. And now he's not answering me. I don't know if he's looking for someone to come out here because I'm not going anywhere. And hopefully he answers me soon because I need to go to bed. I need to get some sleep. And if I don't get this blinker problem resolved, I'm going to be late on this load. And it's just like, so that's another thing. Sorry guys, like usually I'm really positive. I'm just having a hard time. So I want you to see the reality here because this isn't all, the thing about this job is it's like I always tell people, it's like 50% awesome, 50% not so great. So, I apologize if you don't want to see me complain, then just skip this video, like, because it's not gonna, I don't know. So, I had a really bad paycheck last week because I sat for 16 hours at a receiver and was woken up by pounding, right? And I'm trying to get dressed and wake up and was just like, hold on. And they kept pounding and whatever, it is what it is. I got woken up. I was okay with all that after sitting 16 hours. And then I got to my delivery and sat for 5 or 6 hours. And because of all that, and then what was it? Yeah, so that was a bad paycheck last week for whatever reason. This week I delivered where I was going, and I don't know what happened. The hinge on the door broke. I don't know if I backed into the thing too hard. I don't know what the heck happened. I hear these things just happen. So the hinge on the trailer door broke. And I got sent to a trailer shop. I got sent this really awesome load that I was also going to get in for payroll. So I had that one load that I just delivered, and I got sent a really awesome one. I have to go see my family out east. So it was going right to where my family was going. It was dropping in time. It was dropping on Tuesday, which is the payroll cutoff. If you guys don't know what that is, that's just, it's the last day that you can submit loads to get onto your settlement. So, and I'm sitting at the trailer shop waiting for the trailer to be repaired. They were awesome. They were super nice, but it took them a while. They had to like cut things, weld things, whatever. And my 14-hour clock was gone. So I had to stay there. And I lost the load that I was going to getting in for payroll. I was given another load that doesn't deliver till Thursday, 2 days after the payroll cutoff. And that means that I'm not only going to have a crappy paycheck this week, but I'm also, I might have an okay paycheck next week. It's a good load. It pays really well, but it delivers too late, and I'm not allowed to deliver early. So that, that's adding to my frustration. And I'll tell you the cool story of what happened, because I think I need to end on a cool note. So, I was in California, at the Ontario TA. It's down, it's near LA. So I'm at the Ontario TA, and I'm backing into a spot, and some guy who was next to me in a Jim Palmer truck, he gets out and he helps me back into the spot, and we talk for a little while back and forth, and he gives me some pointers, and then I go to bed, and I wake up, he's still there, I leave. I go to my appointment that I had, was loaded pretty quickly, got out of there, started heading north toward Washington. Now, I went to that Ripon, whatever, the place in California, Northern California. I get up there, and I start trying to, I reserved a spot, like I said, because it was getting to the, later in the day, and I knew that, it get up there in California, especially anywhere on the West Coast, it gets hard to park after a certain time, and the East Coast is like that too, any populated area. So I start backing in, and it's funny, I'm on the phone with my friend George, I got my headset on, and I'm like, oh, there's another Jim Palmer truck on the right of me, like he was on this side of me last time too, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if it was the same guy? And I'm like, I know it's not the same guy, that the odds of that are so ridiculous. So I start backing in, and I see someone moving around in the front seat, and he sort of looks like the guy from last night who was in the TA Ontario, and we're talking like north of that, like pretty far north. And it's funny because I wasn't even going to go on the road. I was on 99, California 99, I think it's called. I went on 99 because I actually swung by my house to see Dylan real quick and to get some mail, and then I would have just gone straight up the 5, but I went on 99. So I ended up stopping at this truck stop that I wasn't even going to pass on the way. I backed into this reserved spot because the night before I was not in a reserved spot next to this Jim Palmer truck. The guy gets out, and it's the guy from last night, the same guy. So he comes out, he starts helping me back, and he comes up to my window, and I'm like, didn't we just do this last night? And he's like, no. And then he was like, oh my God, because I had my glasses on, and he didn't realize I was the same person. He looked at my truck, he looked at me, he was like, wow. And we were both just like mind blown. So long story short, he helped me park, we talked, and then he got me dinner at Denny's, and I just had nachos or whatever. I didn't even want it. I was just like, no, I have a sandwich in the truck, it's fine. He's like, no, let me get you dinner, I don't want to eat alone. I was like, okay, it's fine. So now I have a new friend that I met here on the road, and he's actually thinking about coming over to Prime, which is pretty cool, which I highly encourage. Like, I don't care if you put me down as a recommendation or not. Like, I don't even do that whole, like, oh, put me down as a recommendation. Like, I love Prime. I've had mainly good experiences with Prime, but my only problem, and this is a big problem, it's not just a Prime problem, because it's definitely not a Prime problem. Like, it's a problem in general where people just treat us like second-class citizens, and they act like we're not important. Like with the road assist guy telling me, oh, just, like, I'm not sending somebody out there on a Friday night to look at your turn signal. Like, you need to drive to a TA. And it's just like, so you'd rather ask, like, so he's more important? He doesn't even exist yet. We don't even know what guy this is. But you're not going to ask a guy to do his job and come and help me. But it's more important, like, for you not to inconvenience this person whose job it is to help me than it is for me to be safe and not be breaking the law. Like, how does that even make sense? And then the woman banging on my door, and then receivers banging on my door, and people not having bathrooms for us. And it's just like, these things, I go through these cycles where, like, I'm like, oh, everything's awesome, and then it's just like, then things just start to wear on me, and, like, here I am sitting again waiting for a response. Like, do you not realize that I need to go to bed? Like, I realize you're at work, road assist guy, but I need to go to bed, and I need to know what's going on with this blinker so that I can get this load in on time, and I can get to my family, and which I can't even afford to do, but that's an obligation that I need to do. So I need to get to Virginia to go have dinner with my family, like, for Passover, and he doesn't know any of that, and I don't expect him to know any of that, but just, I asked him to, like, for a follow-up, and he's just not saying anything. Maybe he's working on it, I don't know, but I'm just irritated at the fact that over the phone he told me that he wanted me to drive somewhere and was arguing with me because I told him I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So, okay, this is probably the longest video I've ever done, but I just needed to vent, and I think I need to, like, say these things because a lot of people don't understand how hard it is for us. Like, we encounter a lot of disrespect. We also encounter a lot of people that are super cool. Like, today I had a guy at the shipper try to help me with my weights on my tandems and my drives, and I think he might have made it worse, so I'm gonna weigh in the morning just to make sure, because he even told me, oh well, I don't know what's going on, like, you might want to just go weigh, because we tried for like a half an hour. But it was nice of him to try to help me. And also another guy at the shipper helped me with my load locks, which was really cool. So like, yes, I encounter awesome people, but it's the people that it wears on you. And I'm sure you guys can understand this. I'm not just complaining for the sake to complain. Like, I try to be positive, but I need to let you know the reality of the situation. I'm not gonna fake it. I'm not gonna pretend it's so like, oh, everything's great. No, it's not all the time. It can be awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's just been a rough couple of weeks, I guess, a rough week, whatever it is. And you guys I have you to talk to, so I appreciate that. So everybody who is driving, be safe out there, and remember, don't break the law because some guy at Road Assist told you to, or it's on us. If we get pulled over for that blinker ticket, it's on us. Or if we hurt somebody because we're trying to get over and they don't know that we have our blinker on, that's on us too. So it's not on the Road Assist guy that told you, oh, well, I don't feel comfortable, like, or he's like, I don't want someone to have to come out on a Friday to fix a turn signal. Well, you know what? I don't want to have to break the law. So if I have to sit here and miss pass over and not deliver this load until someone comes and looks at my turn signal, I will. I'm already broke, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, guys, have a good one. Thanks for listening. I feel better already. So and be cool, guys. I'll talk to you soon.